Hey, it's a new day. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sihle, and today I am sharing a travel vlog, another travel vlog from Joburg to Gqeberha, and then from Gqeberha we drove to Emondi, East London in the Eastern Cape province. Okay, let me just give a bit of context. In the month of October, I had to travel for work. I first traveled to Kenya and I shared that vlog, and it did surprisingly really well. Thanks for all the love that I received with that Kenya vlog. And then a few days, I arrived back in Joburg on Thursday evening. Then on Monday, I had to leave Joburg, which is in the Gauteng province, and I flew to the Eastern Cape province in the city where I was actually born, called Gqeberha, and the English name or the former name of Gqeberha was Port Elizabeth. So if you hear me talking about PE, I'm referring to Gqeberha. And then from Gqeberha we spent 2 nights at Gqeberha, and then on the third day in the morning we drove from Gqeberha to Emondi, which is in East London, which is about 3 hours away from PE. So it's been a busy month traveling for work, but I guess enjoyed it, and I didn't really do an extensive vlog. I actually didn't think I was gonna vlog when I went to Gqeberha. I was just taking video clips, and now I'm gonna just talk about my travel vlog and what I got up to. So this vlog is actually all about what I did when I was not working. So you won't get any glimpses, or maybe you will get a few glimpses of what I was doing when I was working, but you'll get a few glimpses, I guess. So like I said, I left Monday afternoon for Gqeberha. I stayed at the Radisson Blue Hotel in Gqeberha, and it's actually a very lovely hotel, and it's right there by the beachfront, lovely views. But there's a funny story that I want to tell you about it. It's actually one of those hotels, like immediately when we were driving in. So I was there with two of my colleagues, and I hired a car together. Obviously, where I work, they hired the car and we had to just drive it. And immediately when we got there to Radisson Blue, I immediately noticed that the parking was in the basement. Big deal, Sihle, basement parking. Yeah, for someone like me, basement parking is a problem because I'm claustrophobic. I suffer from claustrophobia, which means I am scared of small enclosed spaces. And it's not the basement that makes me scared. No, I have no issue with the basement. I have an issue with an elevator. I don't enjoy taking a lift. I would rather use the stairs to get somewhere. I mean, in my first year at Wits, I used to walk up to the 11th floor every single day, up and down every single day, to avoid using the lift. So when I noticed that we were going to do basement parking, okay, I got a bit nervous, but I was there with my colleagues, and I know my fear is irrational. I think a lot of us that suffer from claustrophobia, we know that this is an irrational fear. But we have it. I'm fearful, as irrational as it is. When I have to use an elevator, my heart beats faster, I start sweating, and I overcompensate by chatting a lot and trying to make the time go by quicker. So that's exactly what I did. And it's strange because later on, when my colleague said she noticed that I was speaking a little too much in the lift when we got into the lift. So anyway, it was basement parking. We got in, used the lift to the reception area, checked in at reception. Everything was lovely. The staff was awesome, nice and warm. They gave me my key card, and I was going to the 6th or 7th floor, I believe. And my one colleague was a floor above me, and my other colleague was 2 floors higher. So I was very relieved to know that if I did have to use the lift, at least my colleagues would be with me every single time, because they have to get off after me. Because one of the things that helps me to get over my fear of claustrophobia is when I know I'm there with someone, and I try not to think about the fact that I'm in a lift, and I just focus on chatting to that person, and I just focus on our conversation. So that's what I normally do when I use the lift. But if there's an option of using the stairs, I will certainly take the stairs. But I always challenge myself, you know. First thing I said when I got to the basement parking is nothing. I just went into the elevator and kept quiet. When we got to reception, did the same thing. I was pushing myself, but inside, I was dying. And then, okay, so my colleagues and I had agreed that we're just going to drop off things, and in 15 minutes, we're all heading down for dinner. And then my colleagues left me. They didn't leave me, but they just sent me a message saying, hey, we're downstairs. And they're already, because it was like, tell me when you're about to go on the lift, I'm going to catch the same lift as you. But my colleague didn't get what I meant by that. And I think I also was a bit, because it's an irrational fear, I don't really want to just tell people, hey, I suffer from claustrophobia. Would you mind being my chaperone or something? So I didn't tell her. So she was downstairs and she's like, come. I was so nervous. I walked back and forth from my hotel room door to the elevator like maybe 3 times. And then I sat in my room, tried to breathe. I looked for the stairway going down, and it was locked. I thought that was the stairway, the one that was closest to my room, and it was locked. And after a few minutes of panicking, maybe about 30 minutes, I then called reception and I said, I am claustrophobic, I am struggling, and I'm not okay. I need to be moved to a room on the 1st floor or the ground floor level. Of course, they then explained that the way their hotel is structured, is the basement, then it's the reception on the 1st floor, I guess, then the 2nd floor is the restaurant, the 3rd floor is the gym, then the 4th floor is the 1st floor where occupants can reside. So I said, I'll take it. But I must say, the man I spoke to at the Radisson Blue Hotel, being Dala, and he was the kindest man. He made me feel normal. He told me that I'm not the first one to have like these concerns, who wants to use a lift, who's claustrophobic basically. And he really just helped me through the whole process. He got someone to come walk me down and to show me actually the stairway that does work, that was on the floor that I was on. It wasn't close to my room, it was on the other side. They walked me down, they showed me how I can make my way. I can walk from my floor level to the restaurant and to the reception. And then I decided, since I was high up, I think I was on the 7th floor, then they would move me at least to the 4th floor, so I don't have to do like that distance. But I absolutely wouldn't mind doing it. And they did everything. They came back, because I was like, I'm not like, they took my stuff, because I hadn't even unpacked my room. They took my bags and put them in the new room, and they were really, really kind and made me feel normal. And then when I got to dinner with my colleagues, my 2 colleagues, I actually just confessed and told them exactly what I have been suffering with for many years. And I'm sure you guys are laughing. Oh my gosh, you can laugh. You can laugh at me. I know it is hilarious. It's funny. I even laughed at myself when my colleagues were talking to me about it. It is funny. It is funny that someone can be just so scared to go into an elevator that they would spend like about more than 30 minutes going back and forth from the room door to the elevator. And every time I'd press it, and then I'd try to go in, but like somehow I couldn't go in. I mean, it's an irrational fear. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I wish I was not claustrophobic, but I do fight this fear. And when I was chatting to my colleagues, I actually got a few hints and tips. But I don't know if I'll be taking any of that advice, because I'm not trying to challenge myself to overcome my claustrophobia. I'm not going to put myself in a confined space. That wouldn't make sense to me. I don't mind walking up and down the stairs and avoiding spaces that force me to be in a confined area. I don't know, I don't know, like, if you suffer from claustrophobia specifically, please drop me a message and just drop a comment and let me know. And what are some of the challenges that you have, and how do you overcome your claustrophobia? And I don't really think about it, because I just avoid confined spaces. When I'm booking a hotel room or going somewhere, the first thing I'm thinking of is not, oh, I hope I won't be in an elevator. I never think of that. It's always like I'm confronted with my fear. I always just get confronted with it. But on a daily, I'm not thinking about my claustrophobia, but I'm obviously avoiding any confined spaces. So it's usually the elevator for me that really makes me feel claustrophobic. And of course, I have been stuck in a lift, not once, maybe twice. And there are a few, because people are always interested in, like, what's the story behind your claustrophobia? I don't know if there's a single story behind it or a single event behind my claustrophobia. I think it's just the fact that I really think I'm just going to die in a confined space. When I was about 7 years old, 8 years old, at hostel, my friends and I would lock each other in suitcases and drag the suitcases to the foyer. And then, like, it was funny. Did that add to my claustrophobia? I don't know. When fast forward, when I was in high school, the silly boys locked me in the tuck room, which was under the stairway, with my friend Mandy. But I was really claustrophobic when that happened. Everyone was like, Sihle's claustrophobic. Why would you do that? Was it the fact that when I was at Wits, I got stuck in a lift for over an hour? That's my tertiary years. No, because I was already claustrophobic. I hardly ever used the lift. And when I did use it, then I got stuck. I can't really say when my fear started, and I don't really care. I have it, and I just have to manage it. And what I learned from this experience is to be more proactive. If I am going somewhere, maybe ask the questions and tell them ahead of time that, can I be on the bottom floor? I prefer using the stairs. And also just trying to manage it and not to be ashamed of it, because it's such a shameful thing. Like, if I'm at work, for instance, and people want to use the lift, I'd be like, I'm getting my exercise. The reality is, it's not because I want to exercise and do the stairs. It's because I'm claustrophobic. I don't like confined spaces. When I go to public restrooms, if it's those restrooms that are the door completely, like, shuts to the top, like it's a full-on wall right from the bottom, and there's like if it's completely like there's a complete wall and there's no window, or if there is a window and then the window has burglars, then I like, oh gosh, yeah. I won't go in, obviously. Or I would go and then ask my sister to stand right in front of the door, and then I'd push the door. Or I would, if I'm carrying something big, close the door by pushing something to block the door, so that whoever tries to open won't be able to open the door. But I'm not going to lock it, because I don't trust that. I don't trust that I'll be able to get out. Oh yes, it also happened when I was stuck in the toilet in grade 6 at Havrenet at a school camp. Oh my goodness, is this video becoming my claustrophobia video? No. I'm not trying to talk about my claustrophobia video. Can we please, I'm sorry for digressing. Can we please get back to my travel vlog, my experience in the Eastern Cape while I was traveling for work? I'm sorry for but I just felt comfortable, and I don't know, I felt like I needed to just explain. But I will say this, I absolutely loved the Radisson Blue Hotel in Gqeberha. Absolutely beautiful. The staff was amazing. I didn't take any videos really of it in my experience there, but it was really amazing. So my colleagues and I left dinner at about 11 o'clock, and we had been there for what feels like 4 hours, from about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we were there for like, I think more than 4 hours, just chatting away. And it was really nice. I really enjoyed the conversations, and I really got to know my colleagues a bit more. And the next morning, we had to wake up and actually go work. At the Boardwalk Convention Center in Gqeberha, we were conducting public workshops on recent regulations that we had published. And then, but we're not focusing on that. But after the workshops, we went back to the hotel, quickly changed into comfy clothes, and wore our slip-slops so that we could put our toes in the sand and walk on the beach. But we didn't actually get to do that part. Walking on the beach, we went to a nearby roadhouse where we all just ordered our drinks. I obviously had my non-alcoholic drinks. Might have even had a coffee, and we're just chatting away for a few hours, and it was really good. Then I went back to when we all went back to the hotel. Then I decided to stay for a starter. It was already about 6 o'clock, and I had a starter with one of my colleagues. Ordered a salad, and then my sister and her husband came to fetch me at the hotel, and they took me out to a new restaurant it's a newish restaurant at the Boardwalk. And my BFF Wari was also there, and it was just a lovely time to be with family and to meet up with friends and to just chat and have dinner. I really enjoyed myself. And then my sister and hubby dropped me back at my hotel, and of course my BFF wanted some one-on-one time, and she stayed for like 2 hours. She left at about midnight. She left at midnight, and we were chatting away and just catching up. It was really awesome. I enjoyed it. And then the next morning we woke up early again and had breakfast and made our way to East London. So because I was actually born in Gqeberha, the city of Gqeberha, and I have family that is from Gqeberha, I was able to give my colleagues a tour of sorts of the Sunshine Coast. So this is the route from Gqeberha, which goes from Gqeberha to Nanaga Farm Stall, then Bushman's River mouth, and in Afrikaans I don't know why I always say it in Afrikaans, Bosman's River Mont. I guess I have to always just work on my Afrikaans. I love working on my Afrikaans, any opportunity I get. And then from Bosman's River's Mont, we made our way to Keimmouth, and from Keimmouth, no, it's not Keimmouth. Oh my gosh, Keimmouth is actually on the Wild Coast. We went to Kenton-on-Sea on the Sunshine Coast, and from Kenton-on-Sea, we stopped in Port Alfred, and then eventually arrived in East London, Emonti. Okay, so let me just tell you about each place. Cape PE, Windy City, Summerstrand.
It's actually beautiful weather today. Oh, and the wind is not that.
Nanaga is a farm stall, which is about 45 minutes from, the light just went off, 45 minutes from PE, and they sold some of our irostile, which is like a roster cook, some most delicious bread, very delicious. And I introduced my colleagues to that, and also had some pineapple juice, but I don't think any of us enjoyed the pineapple juice because none of us actually finished our own pineapple juice. So I think we didn't enjoy it. And then we stopped at Mont. Oh my gosh, why can't I pronounce it now? And I had actually gone there on holiday with hubby, my mom, and MJ when he was a baby, and we enjoyed our stay there. There's the slipway. Yeah, it was just awesome. I just showed them around, and then we went to Canton on Sea, which is also a very beautiful beach town. Took pictures, just looked around, and then we made our way to Port Alfred. And all this time, my one colleague was driving, and she was just so kind and so willing and such a great driver. I mean, the conversation was really good. We had great chemistry, the three of us. I really enjoyed it. And then we eventually arrived in Port Alfred. Port Alfred is also like a coastal town, and it's beautiful. And we went and looked at an antique shop, just looking around. And then finally we arrived in East London, and we did what we always do when we arrive at a place. We just dropped our luggage. I think when I got there, I actually was styling my hair for some weird reason. I don't know why. And then we went out to take a walk on the beachfront, and then like my hairstyle got ruined. And like, what was the whole point of me actually styling my hair? I absolutely don't know. And then as we were walking at the beachfront, we saw a restaurant of sorts, and then we decided to stay for coffee. And then my uncle and aunt and a 17-year-old cousin came by, and we were just catching up and chatting. And then they left after maybe an hour or less. I think an hour. And then my colleague's cousin also came, and then she drove us back to our hotel, because we walked quite a distance. I don't know, something that feels like 2Ks. I might be exaggerating though, but it's on the beachfront in East London. If you know, from the Garden Court Hotel all the way to that restaurant, which is next to the aquarium. I forgot the name of that restaurant. And then we had dinner, and we were chatting as usual. And then our other colleague, senior, joined, and we went to bed at about 10 p.m. And the next day we then had to wake up and go work again and conduct further public workshops in where's this place, the Blue Lagoon conference, Blue Lagoon Hotel. And that's actually where we had my mom's 71st birthday last year. And it was really a good workshop that we did. I enjoyed it. And then after our workshops, we made our way to the airport. But before we got to the airport, we had to stop at Latima's Landing. They sell the best fish. Had to introduce my colleagues to that also. So basically that's what we got up to when I was not working when I was not working and traveling from the Gauteng province to the Eastern Cape, and from the Eastern Cape, from Gqeberha to East London. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. And this basically concludes the end of my video. I don't know, I'm still a bit not sure. Yeah, but anyway, this is my video, and this is what I got up to. Yeah, drop the comments below, and yeah, let me know what other type of videos you're interested in that I should do. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Blessings to you all, guys. Have a good one.